Fortnite is one of the easiest games to get better at, if you know how. In this video, I want to cover some of the in-depth tips on how to become a better player. Just a quick disclaimer, this video does not cover how to get better mechanics like aim or editing. This is purely game sense. And one last thing before we get started, if you guys learned something from this video, or just enjoy the content in general, I would really appreciate it if you hit that button. I'm trying to get 500 by the end of the year, and I'm going to need you to help make that happen. Now enough with the self-promotion, let's get into the first tip, which is recognizing player patterns. Now this may sound complicated, but it's actually very simple. All it means is that if a player does something, you're able to recognize what they're doing and predict what they're going to do next. Take this situation for example. When you drop down on a ramp on the outside of somebody's box, what most players will do is do a top right edit and put a cone above you. And that is an example of a player pattern. Now, how do we counter this situation? One of the easiest counters I know is to stand on the top of the stair and then you'll phase above the cone. So now that we know what a player pattern is, how can we get better at recognizing them? Being able to recognize what a player is going to do takes a lot of time. A couple things that you guys can do to learn the player patterns is just to really be involved in competitive Fortnite. Play tournaments, play arena, watch pros play, and try predicting what the other player is going to do when you're watching pros. But the most important thing is to just play. But don't play against people that are way worse than you and are not really giving you any realistic practice. Try versing somebody at your skill level or pretty close. If you guys have any questions about recognizing player patterns, please don't be afraid to ask in the comments. It's a very interesting topic and not many people talk about it. And now, let's start talking about recognizing zone patterns. All this means is that if you see a zone pull one way, you'll be able to predict where it's going to pull next. So for this example, say that the zone pulls where that blue circle is. The most common spot for this next zone to go is on the same direction the first zone went. So for this example, it'll be on the east side of the map. This is easily the most common example of a zone pattern, and this one is called a double pull. Now you could use the argument that zones are RNG, which yes, they are, but when the first zone pulls to a certain side, it is almost always going to double pull. Being able to recognize these zone patterns takes a long time, and the way you can improve on it is those same examples on recognizing player patterns. You just gotta play, and you gotta be playing real games. There's many zone patterns to learn, and I can't really cover them all in this video, but if you guys have any questions, once again, leave them in the comments. And this next tip is going to be keeping a growth mindset. My definition of a growth mindset is trying to improve and learn from just about every situation. The first step to having a growth mindset is literally what you're doing right now. You clicked on this video because you have a growth mindset. You are trying your best to find ways to improve. Something that you really want to do is each time that you get eliminated, try and figure out the exact reason why you got eliminated and fix it. If it was a mechanical issue, work on your mechanics more. But if it was like a game sense issue, then just be sure that you do not make that same mistake again. You can also VOD review yourself. Try and find things that you did really well, but also that you can really improve on. But not only should you be VOD reviewing yourself, but you should VOD review pros as well. They are professionals after all, and of course, they're going to know what they're doing. Try to find a mistake that you do in your gameplay, find out what a pro does in that situation, and learn from there. And if you ever lose in your growth mindset, I'm no counselor or psychologist, but what I've done is just play a different game for about 2 weeks. Sometimes we lose motivation to want to play a game, and that's totally fine, that's normal. So either just take a break from gaming in general, or just go play a different game. It's totally fine to take a break. When you come back, you'll be wanting to play the game and want to improve way more. And that is all I had for this video, but I'd like to share something that I've been working on for a little bit. This is meant for more beginner to intermediate competitive players. I've made a complete Fortnite competitive guide that goes really in depth to all aspects of the game. It will boost your game sense with a deep explanation and tips of early game, mid game, and late game. And not only will it help your game sense, but also improve your mechanics. It includes a building and editing routine that is made from many different pros and an elite game guide for PC and console. And I only plan on just making it $5. If you guys are interested or have any questions, go ahead and DM me on Discord. Discord's on the screen right now. Anyway, that will be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, see you in the next one. That girl is a real crowd. Small